Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is JC. I'm doing the newbie author tag, and please forgive me. I'm a bit nervous because I don't really like being on camera, but I love the AuthorTube community and I wanted to be a part of it. So here I am. I'm going to read from the paper because I don't have these questions memorized. So bear with me. How did you find out about AuthorTube? So I was looking for videos on being productive in your writing, and I stumbled upon Marissa Mohi's channel. I'm not entirely sure which video it is because she has so many videos that are awesome, but her channel is completely amazing, and from the moment she said, "What is up, my nerds?" I knew that was the channel for me. I think I pretty much watched everything in her channel and absolutely loved it, but I didn't actually really start stumbling onto other people's channels until I also watched Kate Kavanaugh's. I tried writing like J.K. Rowling, and from then I was trying to find everyone's channel I could possibly find, and I fell in love with the AuthorTube community. Question number 2: what genres do you write in? It's kind of a toss-up kind of question because I don't really pigeonhole myself to any one specific genre. I write general contemporary fiction right now, but I want to write young adult fiction. I also would like to write fantasy, but I'm not entirely sure that I have the mind for writing fantasy novels. I love to read them, and I would love to write historical fiction novels because I love history and writing fiction, and it kind of would mix two, my favorite things. But see, I don't like to limit myself, so I'm pretty eclectic. Question number 3: what is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? I like writing in first person. I tend to love doing dual main characters. In one particular book I've written, one of the main characters is actually not alive, but she's a very, very important character in the book. So I like doing the duality and having multiple points of view, but mostly first person. I don't know if I want to dabble in writing in the omniscient tense or the omniscient voice, but it might be something interesting for me to try. Question number 4: are you a plotter, a pantser, or a plantser? I am 100% a plotter. I like to plan everything down to the T. I was not always a person who liked to outline. My first novel that I ever wrote was not outlined, which is probably why it took so long to actually finish it. But once I discovered how to outline, or my version of outlining, I totally love outlining. I like being organized. I like keeping things. I write a to-do list for my to-do list. I am that person that likes to plot out everything. I like routine. I do not like change, which I realize is not a great quality, but I'm working on it. But I like to plan out the chapters, the character sketches, what they'll look like. Now, here's the thing. I hear a lot of people saying that they don't outline because they don't want to pinhole themselves to an outline and have to go directly from the outline. But I find that I go from the outline, but I don't stick to the outline. If the story veers off, I let it veer off. But the outline is there for structure and foundation, and I kind of like having that. Question number 5: are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? That's kind of a yes and a no. I did have a book that was published by a small publishing press in 2008. I think I rushed to publish that, which is why it didn't do well, and it is now not in print anymore. I have been published, but the book did not do well. What copies did sell, I sold myself. I kind of felt like I was expecting more from my publisher on the marketing end because I am not a marketer. I expected to just be the creative and do the creative side, and I was naive in that way, and I was a little overly excited about having my book published and someone actually reading my work and wanting to publish it, even though it was a small press. And because of that, my first book, which I plan to republish because I still feel the story is an awesome story and enough people have not read it or seen it yet. It's called The Diary, Succession of Lies. I'm keeping the title. I will change the cover because the artwork was done by someone that worked for that specific publishing company, and I don't want to take anyone's artwork. So I do plan on republishing that. So I guess I have been published, but it did not do well, and I have not published since then. And it's been a long time since I've taken that dive into the publishing pool, and I've been sending out query letters that have gotten rejection upon rejection. Some agents telling me the story is good, but not what they're looking for. So I finally decided that I'm going to self-publish, which back when I published the other book was kind of looked down upon, and now it's more accepted. But I just want to have control over my own publishing, my own books, the money that I get from my books. I want to have control over that. So that is my plan from this point forward, is to self-publish. Question 6. What publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? If you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or agent? I am not yet published. Well, I'm not yet again published. I have been published by a company, you know, that I don't want to say the name because I don't know if they exist, and I don't want to put any bad vibes out there about them because they did publish my first novel. If I had to traditionally publish, which used to be my dream, my dream publishing house would be Simon and Schuster, or the company that I think publishes James Patterson's books, Little Brown, I think. That would be my dream publishing house to be published under, but that hasn't happened. So, question number 7. What AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? I want to do videos chronicling my journey to being a self-published author. I want to publish in fiction, non-fiction, children's, young adult, and I also want to take y'all on a journey as far as my freelance editing business and getting it further off the ground, because I've had some clients here and there, but it's struggling, and the times we're in right now are not helping. So I just want to take you on that journey with me, and as I discover more things as a writer, and I'm by myself, I just want to take y'all on that journey with me. Now, number 8. When did you start writing? I'm actually going to tie number 8 and number 9 together, which is number 9 is what was the first story you ever wrote. So the first story I ever wrote, well, I knew I was going to be a writer when I was 6 years old. I saw a PBS special. It might have been on Reading Rainbow, I'm not sure, but they did a segment about publishing books and the making and the binding of publishing books and things like that, and writing your own story and what that took. And at 6, I knew writing was for me. That's what I wanted to do. And at 6 years old, I actually penned a 10-page mini book that I strung together with string, and I gave to my best friend at the time in first grade as a present. That was technically my first story. Now, when did I start writing more seriously? I was 10, and I started writing poetry as a way to express myself, and didn't have the best of childhoods, so the way that I got it out was by writing poetry. When I wrote my first novel, I was probably about 18 or 19 when I wrote my first novel. I've never been a person to write short stories, even though I've wanted to, but I'm a little long-winded, so every time I start writing a short story, it turns into a novel. But I've always known from the time that I was 6 that I wanted to be a writer. I may have sprinkled a few other career choices along with it, but a writer was always the first one. Question number 10. What authors have inspired your writing the most? Well, the most, probably Louisa May Alcott and Little Women inspired me the most because that's the book that I read that made me know that I could tell stories for a living and not have it just be deemed a hobby. Now, my writing is influenced by James Patterson and J.D. Robb and David Baldacci and Terry McMillan, and it's too many to really name. You see by the bookshelves behind me that I really love to read, so it'd probably be way too many authors to actually name. Question number 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? I'd like to say that I schedule my writing sessions. I have optimal times of the day which are best for me to write, but I'm a single mom and sometimes life happens. So I try to write as best I can when I can. My best time is actually at night because I'm a night owl. So that's probably my most creative time and the time that I feel the most inspired. But of course, we can't always wait till nighttime to write. So sometimes I have to write in the morning or the afternoon or whenever it's possible. Question number 12. Do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend? Where do you write in general? Well, in general, I write at my desk. I've tried to write in my bed, but sometimes I end up falling asleep because I'm a night owl and I write at night. So, mostly. I write by hand for the outline. I do my outlines and character sketches by hand. But on the computer is where I type the novel. When I start from chapter 1 up to the end, I like to do it by computer. I used to write by hand when I was younger, but it gets a little hard on your hand to do that. So I kind of mix it up that way. Question number 13. What are you most looking forward to now that you're a part of AuthorTube? Easy, the community. I love this community, the way y'all motivate each other, the way you guys stick together, the way you help each other, the way you boast about each other. It's amazing. I've been looking for a writing community to be a part of because a lot of my friends, they don't write, so they don't get it. When I say I have to do something, when they want me to do something and I'm like, I have to write, I have an idea and I have to write it down, they don't get why I can't just do that later or do that some other time. And you know, I mean I have one or two friends that are a writer, but they're scattered far apart, so this community will enable me to kind of feel like I have a closer knit writing community, and I love the way y'all motivate each other. So I am very excited to be a part of the AuthorTube community and be around other writers who get it. Well, that's it for the newbie tag AuthorTube questions. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about me. Like I said, my name is JC. It's actually Jamita Carpenter, but I go by JC because I don't like my name. I've never liked my name. I have a 16-year-old daughter, love of my life, and a single mom, and just trying to make my writing business all that it can be. Not in the Army, I don't know why I said it like that, but you get the picture. Again, I'm really nervous. I don't do this often. Hopefully you'll tune in for the next video, and hopefully you'll subscribe and stick around for more videos and watch my journey as I grow and I grow in the AuthorTube community. Have a great day. Bye. And I'm going to think of a better way to end my videos because I realized that probably wasn't that great. Again, bye.